the face on the replay did, as you mentioned, Simon, just offer a hint of what Toscani thought. People may not say it, but forwards can be honest and they can be genuine. And Toscani's face there, I say that as a forward throughout my hockey playing career. Argentina will restart the second quarter. We are 1-0 up.
I'd have loved to have seen him put his hand up and say, no, it hit my foot. And I would like the camera close in on Ronconi's face at that moment in time. Yes, we all want sportsmanship. Not sure we're going to get that at this level in that moment.
Couldn't agree more. That is a poor touch at this level from De La Torre. Good field. Drops it inside. Oh, Duncan Scott, it nearly fell for him, and then that just loops over the bar.
What a chance that is for Goodfield. Santiago, what we've talked about in the ball rolls there, he doesn't get anything on that. He kind of punches it with his glove. There's no stick sweep at all. He needs to be getting through that with his stick to get it clear. He's on his hands and his knees. Goodfield's gone high. That does not miss by much.
High press put on. Duncan Scott, the highest for England. Look at the work rate. Immediately turns on his heels, tries to keep the pressure on, try and squeeze Cecilio, who cuts the English press well. He just clips a definite foot of Reece Smith, and Argentina ball.
It already feels more positive for England compared to yesterday. It didn't feel like they got into the circle. Limited circle penetrations and certainly didn't turn into shots very often. Santiago already just being called into action on a few more occasions, having to move across his goal line, pick up that save, that ball stuck under his feet from Condon, the rebound going close, and then Goodfield there flashing over because Santiago hadn't cleared it with any real strength.
Ray just drops it in. That's nicely played out to the right-hand side. Napoti. So, long corner. Ray restarts quickly for Argentina, but sloppily in the end. Turner playing it out to Smith. Not the tidiest defending from Bagayo there, launching himself at Reece Smith.
I don't think he tripped over his own feet, but all of a sudden he was on his hands and knees. And if, to be honest, to be professional about it, if Smith had felt that impact and just stumbled himself, may well have been able to just get the free hit that would have allowed England to not have to try and dribble out of that bottom left-hand corner. They got out well in the end. But in that build-up, Dan, the one thing that I questioned was how much space Argentina had on the right-hand side, because Reece Smith didn't immediately follow track back through midfield. And that just gave the overlapping options down the right-hand side. And England must run with their opposite number for the first 2 or 3 metres to dissuade them from longer looping overlapping runs.
I've just seen a tweet come through reminding us from former England manager Andy Halliday that Kieran Govers of Australia, who is a delightful human being, I've known Kieran for a long time, and he famously owned up to a foot in the circle and had a goal chalked off. But as we've said, there was no advice possible. We've said it may have been a foot. There was nothing definite about it at all. Monya, who definitely scored yesterday and scored very, very well indeed, moves the ball back for Argentina. It just drifts out over the sideline. Of course, this Argentinian team, most of the players, bulk of the players play in Europe. How different are they to play against Simon as a team from your experience compared to European teams? As Ferrero drives through 3D, still going, Martin Ferrero. Good save from Payne. Awkward. Kinan, oh, wowee. Kinan lifting it, reversed it, volley, and Kasea nearly picked it from above his left ear.
To answer your question, that is how different they are, because that passage of play basically sums it up. There's a fundamental difference in terms of how they approach the game. It's the sitting back, it's the counter-attack, and then it is the one-on-one flair. And there is more flair to their game automatically and naturally than we see from England. I'm not saying the players don't have it, but how they are coached and how they are integrated into the patterns that they want to deliver is wholly different, which means that from an international perspective, you have to be aware that you're going to get asked some serious questions one-on-one. How good is your one-on-one defence against a team like this? It's not about team structure. This is about, can you tackle your opponent when he does that with the ball, what we just saw.
Well, despite the fact it didn't go in the goal, that, for me, one of the highlights of the season so far. That passage of play, the inventiveness.
I think Payne made two or three good saves through the course of it. The hands in front of his body on the backhand was good. He just looks so solid in that situation. He's a very composed goalkeeper. Then I think he got a touch as the ball came flashing across the face of his goal as well.
The pick up from the goal scorer, Toscani. Brings it one way, goes the other. Taylor, the University of Exeter player. Sanford just slightly getting in the way and for trying to show that he was backing off. It's pulled back and it's roofed. And it's Martinez with the goal.
And there is the problem. If you do not defend one-on-one, two England defenders stepped into there. First of all, it was Sanford. So secondly, it was Sanford after I think it might have been Park. One player, Toscane's undone them both. Sanford has to get out of the way. Park had already been beaten and was struggling there. And then along the baseline, the pullback. That finish is beautiful. Off the hands. Watch this when it's picked up after the delivery. Under the arm pass. And it's, we're going to miss it out of the shot. That's a shame. It's a pick and whip off the right hand as it's pushed through to create the power. So well done. Scoops it out from under his feet. Nothing that Payne can do. That's a beautiful finish, but off such quality delivery.
91 caps to his name, 24 international goals. Made his debut in 2014 with a goal against Peru. How many people can say that in their international career? Sam Ward pops it back. Oh, and again it's Condon this time. And again it goes begging for England, and they really need to start taking some chances if they're going to stay in this game, because Argentina are taking theirs.
Aren't they just? England, we spoke about positively. I feel that they're playing on the front foot a lot more opportunity.
Good from Reece Smith. Forward. Condon. Duncan Scott. I thought he was going to go for goal. Ward does go at least towards goal. Wins the penalty corner. And man, Montez de Oca clear in his decision-making there.
Whereas Scott gets that and plays it into Ward. Ward's trying to get it round the goalkeeper. But earlier on in the build-up, was there a chance when Condon first took it to pass it straight away? By not giving it, did it mean the defender got on top of it? England need to convert one of his chances, because Argentina, as you say, Dan, when they get up or in and around that circle, they've only had a couple of chances onto Ollie Payne's goal, but they've converted two, probably from what, 4?
Smith is waiting. Ward, it will be to flick. Smith gets it. Takes a big old deflection. I think it was a good save by Santiago. It sounded like pad, and then it clatters into Jose Tellini, who walks off moodily away, and then given away the penalty corner.
Well, it's just played out that way into a foot. I think because it hasn't gone the 5 metres outside, therefore it's a real, which is why they're not given the 40 seconds to reset. It hasn't gone to an open plate.
Ward once more, goes high this time. Santiago with the firm glove. And Thomas Santiago is standing up to the pressure.
I think Ward, or England, but Ward as well, they need to do something a little bit different on their corners. They're struggling a little bit. Ward's flicking isn't as powerful as he would like. Obviously, he's just coming back from injury. Suggestion that his wrist isn't as strong as he might want it to be. He'll flick everything he's given the chance to flick, don't get me wrong, but he's been out for a long time, and these are savable shots, very savable shots. The goalkeeper's not being forced to extend at all.
Thomas Santiago standing firm at the moment to everything England and Sam Ward in the terms of the penalty corners can throw at him. The possession stay for Argentina much better. The goalkeeper from Cordoba is having a good game so far. Ward, as Simon said, returning from 4.5 months out after surgery on a hand, which he played with a broken hand for a year. Went to Tokyo 2020 for Great Britain, where he scored a number of goals with said broken hand. But trust me, Midlands-born maestro is made of tough stuff. Sanford on the run. England positive. That's good defence, though, from the number 33, Joaquin Lionel Coelho, who had an early card in his international career yesterday. To be fair, so did Tobias Martin.
Very true. As Sanford came forward there, what it does is it asks questions of his opposite number. Lucas Martinez had to track all the way through with him up to halfway line. That lung-busting run, that's that shuttle that you have to do just to deny any kind of space and passing opportunity. Good width from England, back pair. Makes it almost impossible for Toscani to cut that pitch in half.
Sanford cuts straight down the pitch. Gall picks it up well, free hit going England's way. England in the white today, 6 minutes left, just shy of now in the second quarter. Salisbury will restart for the team that he had the armband on for yesterday. The crowd today having to deal with the weather. Yesterday it was sun in the eyes. Today it's wet and muggy. Salisbury has patience because he also had space in front of him to move.
England have to just be a little bit careful coming out of that right defensive pocket because the pitch is heavy. That face sums it all up on the overhead. It is the consistency of the decisions. You think, I don't even know why that whistle went. It was over the head of everybody off the back of the pitch.
But James Gall was actually turned to the umpire in complaint that I think that he was either getting an arm across him or being pulled back. It was a little bit of indiscipline there. Keenan, and again, he's just eyeing up that reverse stick. Warning shots from Nico Keenan. Having a good game so far. The guy with a clumsy at best yellow card shown, but that's the second time he's gone in with some clumsy tackling today. Salisbury drives on. Cecilio protects his feet, turns Salisbury back towards where he wants him to go. Ferrero can break, and England need to be at 100% driving back because Ferrero will be, well, would have been flying forward, but he resets. Van Dijk tries to cut the pitch.
Well, England now can really turn the screws physically here. They can make a choice to step out. They have the 4 minutes to half-time. They can use this entire yellow card period to step forward and create chances. And there is one of them on the set play, an easy penalty corner one.
So England again have a chance from the top of the circle. Van Dijk with the offload. Good fill. Running it into the danger zone. Brendan Creed will deliver. Van Dijk is there. Is this the time for the Holcomb player? Low, deflection and wide for the long corner. Bounces up, it goes England's way. Smith is the quickest to it. Works a lot in hockey development in inner city schools. Reece Smith, Nurse. Here is Smith, who has been everywhere again today. And again, a penalty corner going England's way. Much to the displeasure of Thomas Habib, who gets an absolute rocket from the umpire.
Doesn't he just? That's a proper telling off. That's a finger up the left nostril going, get away, that was you, you've shoved him.
Matthias Ray again puts on the protective gear. Smith, well, he actually lost control, but fouled in the process. Look at the wind on the Argentinian flag behind Brendan Creed. Van Dijk again, second bite of the cherry. And again, it's a carbon copy of the first. The only difference is it was Banjarat's stick which directed the ball out of play and not an Argentinian one.
Well, and I can see what he's trying to do, but it's obviously readable. The goalkeeper's stepping across and has it covered, as does the lineman, Cecilio. I'm really sorry, at this level, you have to make the goalkeeper do something. Sliding it past the post, it can go into the hoardings as hard as you like, but you need to get shots on target. With this scoreline, you have to build pressure. You don't do that by firing off the baseline.
So far, it's been a direct and clinical Argentina this weekend, against at times nuanced and almost too fiddly at times, especially today England. Failing to get on the score sheet so far. Aggregate-wise, not that it means anything in terms of the result. 4-0 for the weekend. 2-0 yesterday. Banjarat comes forward, offloads it, wants it back. Santiago is out and puts everything through it. Puts Goodfield to the turf, but Thomas Santiago there did very well indeed.
Really well off his line, created a good physical block, but was controlled about it. Didn't just slide straight through the England forward. But England now, they still have this player advantage. They can manufacture a channel to get the ball into the circle. Lateral play, multiple lateral passes.
Santiago picked that well. Scott with the muffled shot. Coelho offloading. Kinan. Right in the bottom corner, gets dispossessed. Goodfield again. Coelho forces it down the line. Creed can just soak up the pressure. Smith's eyes initially were forward, then they saw the shaven-headed Creed in the pocket. That's a very good ball indeed. Scott picks it well. Oh, he couldn't find the pass. Reece Smith was making his way to the top of the circle.
Well, the final pass and shot for England at the moment is really letting them down. If we look at how many times in this passage of play with this extra player they've got into the circle and they've just not converted anything meaningful. The shot execution has been relatively poor. The opportunities in the circle, the last pass hasn't been strong enough. That's a great bit of goalkeeping and there's nothing Goodfield can do. But if we look at the other moments of where the ball is on the end of sticks, failure to get a stick from player to player, failure to get a good shot on goal.
Before this season, Thomas Santiago had only played in one previous Pro League match. That was in May 2019 against Germany. Of course, this season, he's been the mainstay in goal for Argentina. Emiliano Bosso having to warm the bench currently, as many an excellent goalkeeper has in their career. Turner lets the ball go. Park bursts through into the 23. First time slap, looking for Banjarat, met by Monya. The hooter goes for half time. And Argentina at the moment are the more clinical team. They've taken their chances so far. Cecilio will be relatively content with how his team have gone about their business. England, they've had the shots, they've had the chances. But Toscani in the first quarter and Martinez finishing into the roof in the second is the difference. And it means Los Leones have a 2-0 lead. Confirmation of the scorers flashing up on the screen now. England still yet to break their deadlock this weekend after a high-scoring couple of matches in Valencia to start their FIH Pro League campaign. Well, been all action first half. A comfortable lead at the moment for Argentina. What will we see in the second half? Quarter 3 and 4, we'll see you after the break.